no matter how long or short, will leave an everlasting impression. My brother gave us two of the most important gifts, one of love and of laughter. These are traits our parents, Joan and Dick Brown, had in abundance. I first met Chance and my family in Wilton at the age of 5, in 1961. I was adopted from an orphanage in Hong Kong. However, from the time I stepped off the plane, their acceptance of me was 100%. Shortly after I was adopted, Chance was 13 at the time, one of his friends from school looked at me and asked him, "Is your sister adopted?" He immediately answered, "No. Actually, we're the ones that were adopted." Sally came from a wealthy Chinese family and decided to adopt the Browns so that she would have a wonderful home here in America. I don't know if the friend believed him, but to my parents, that was proof that he accepted me as his sister. I was part of the family. Now, being accepted as his sister didn't keep me safe from his pranks and antics. He loved to give me English lessons, and not the kind you learn at school. One of my first words was the S curse, shit. He showed me a salt shaker, and he said, "This is called shit." At any time you want this, ask in a very nice tone and say, "Please, pass me the shit." Well, I was so proud of my lesson, and I couldn't wait to use the new words. I had that opportunity at our first Thanksgiving, which was a few months after my adoption. We were all sitting at the formal dining room with our aunts, uncles, and grandparents, about to eat our Thanksgiving meal. I immediately wanted to show my English off and said the best manner possible in front of everyone, "Please pass me the shit." Everyone looked stunned and didn't say a word. There was dead silence. Being the instigator, Chance whispered to me, "Say it louder." "I don't think anyone heard you." And I repeated in a louder voice, "Please pass the shit," thinking they must not have heard. And suddenly, there was silence. Everyone stopped eating, and they were shocked. No one knew how to react. They couldn't believe that this sweet little Chinese girl was saying her first cuss word. Right away, Chance and Chris started to giggle and laugh. My parents' faces turned red. They weren't at all happy. So immediately, they called Chris and Chance to the kitchen. So after that dinner, my English lessons with Chance formally ended. Growing up, I always considered my oldest brother, Chance, to be the coolest person I'd ever known. I think our ideas of cool were very different at that age. In his bedroom, he had plastered all over his walls pictures of naked Playboy bunnies, rock and roll bands, and all his iconic bad boy idols. Whereas I was being sent to Catholic school. I was brought up with the notion that these pictures were sinful. Nevertheless, I want to be cool, and at the same time not follow in his wicked ways. Instead, I did the same, but covered my walls with pictures of saints, the Virgin Mary, angels, everything that I thought was holy. And Bob would love to tease me, so instead I would just say, "Bobby, I love you, but someday you're going to burn and burn." He would laugh, and it became a private joke of ours later on when we became adults. Besides teasing me, he loved to pull pranks on our parents. This is one of my favorites. My dad would often get calls from reporters who would try to come to our house unannounced for a last-minute interview. Many were foreign correspondents who didn't understand that American custom to schedule an interview in advance. They would call from one of the New York airports and be at our house within an hour train ride. However, my dad and brothers were not the neatest people, and often, well, on the phone, my mom would be making exasperated hand signals. No way, no way. She wasn't ready for last-minute visitors. At the same time, my dad was always trying to think of acceptable excuses. Chance knew the scenario, so when the opportunity came, he was ready to strike. Back in those days, we had 2 phone lines, and early one morning, Chance ran downstairs to the office phone while my parents were upstairs getting dressed. He rings up the other line, which was in their bedroom. The phone rings. My dad hears the dreaded, "Hello, Deke. I'm at the Westport train station. I would love to come and interview you." My dad holds the receiver and says, "There's a reporter on the phone." Immediately, my mom's hands goes up in the air. No way, no way. And the conversation just keeps going on. And my dad keeps on making excuses. Well, Chance is saying on the other line, "Oh, I can come, Deke. Your fans would love you. They'll love you." So 10 minutes later, while this is going on, suddenly Chance rushes into the bedroom and says to my dad, "Are those pesky reporters bothering you again?" Grabs the phone from my dad and yells on the phone, "Hey, stop bothering my dad. You can't do any interviews today." Bam, and he slams the phone down. My dad immediately, he thinks he's gonna have a heart attack. "I think I lost 100 papers today." And my mom screams, "What did you do? What did you do?" So suddenly, Chance starts to laugh hysterically. And then they realized it was him on the other line. This was one of the greatest pranks ever. But I want to tell you another side of Chance, besides all the antics and pranks. Although Chance loved to play practical jokes and tease his family and friends, he was also fiercely protective of those he loved. He always had a sense of justice. At the same time, he was a humble person. All of his acts and kindness were done simply without much fanfare. Whether it was giving money to those in need, visiting our cousin at the hospital, or helping a person who had fallen at the subway station. He did all of these without hesitation, never drew attention. As kids, my brother Chris and I looked up to him and wanted to emulate his humor and generosity. I recently saw a poster that read, "Our time is limited, but our impact remains infinite." There are few people that have left such a lasting impact on my life as my older brother, Chance. Although his body has left this earth, his spirit of laughter, kindness, and immense talent lives in us forever. Before our family go to bed each night, my mom would say to us kids, "Good night, God bless you, I love you." So now each night, I look to the heavens and I say my short prayer. Mom and Dad, Bob and Chris, good night, God bless you, I love you.